Okay, today we're playing a game on Volskaya Industries. We are in the Silver SR range, and we'll be playing about a quarter of the game as Ana and about 3/4 of the game as Moira. To be honest with you, there's very little Ana gameplay in here, but there was just enough that I felt like I had to include it. Also, you know how it felt this last week? You gotta pick Bastion, and you gotta just kind of make this face, like, I hope they don't notice that I'm not playing Soldier, you know? Like, that's how it's felt, to be honest with you. So, where are we? We're over here. We're not over here. This is too far. This is us right now. We will be Zenyatta very briefly also, but to be honest with you, not for very long. So, where are Bastion's eyes while he's in turret form, though? Do they put them on the gun barrel? Oh, come on. Missed opportunity right there, brother. Well, that's like where his face unit is. But, like, the core is also like his face. Where did the eyes go? Where? You know, we gotta go back. We gotta go back. And we gotta watch him transform so that we can see where the eyes go. This is very important to me, okay? Look, I don't care if it's important to you. It's important to me. Bastion, please begin transformation. Soon, yes, he's finding the position. You know, it's a bit like a dog that's about to sit down. You know, you got to find the perfect spot. That's understandable. Everybody's clustering together. All right, come on, brother, come on. Oh. There goes the face. The eyes are still there. Okay, and then he spins around. Yes, so the eyes should be like back here. This is like his face proper. Yes, there they are. We've located the eyes. There they are. Excellent. Reinhardt, please give your... Oh! His shield has eyes. Of course, because his shield has a fucking face on it, doesn't it? Ho! Of course! What a fool I was. So, Rein... He gets to double up. He gets to have double the fun. Look at that. Wow. What a legend. What an absolute champion. I didn't expect his shield to have eyeballs. That's absolutely incredible. Good job, Blizzard. Good job. Alright, so, anyway. We're playing Ana. Here comes Reaper. We missed him with the dart. You know, such is life. Unfortunate. Rein, please. Oh no, that's not Rein, that's Roadhog. Roadhog's fine, whatever. Fuck Roadhog. I don't care about Roadhog. Reinhardt I was more concerned about, but Roadhog, yeah, fuck that guy. So this, a little spooky. The team's starting to get kind of spread out. It's getting very difficult to see multiple members of the team. That was a very optimistic sleep dart, you know? So, back that boy up. Fucking Blizzard replays, I swear to God, you know, I complain every single time. Because, I mean, he's already done it, but I assume we're, like, pushing the button right now. But, like, we actually pushed that way late. We actually had a lot of time to react to that before we pushed it, and now we don't have it to deal with that. Have better reactions is not exactly good advice, but, I mean, even before he uses Wraith form, he's not in a good spot. And he's got to, like, run after Bastion or disengage at that point. Wraith, and as soon as, like, here's the other thing as well. When you're playing Ana, when you look at Reaper, if he sees you look at him, he's probably going to assume you're just going to throw your sleep dart at him immediately as soon as you look at him. So, yeah, you usually want to, like, hold it for, like, a half second, see if he's going to use Wraith form first, and then, if he does, you save it, and if he doesn't start using Wraith form, hey, you get him. And, you know, then maybe he holds it for half a second to see if you sleep dart him immediately. You know, it becomes a whole thing, doubtlessly. This is a tremendous situation we found ourselves in. He's still purple. By like half a second, we did that too early. So this is a very unique position we found ourselves in. I mean, you know, the Bridget situation, you know, that sure is spooky. And then Rein does that, and I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, he's coming in right now, isn't he? So I would have probably nano-boosted him right now, and been sad, because as you can see, the bot grenade is mere feet away from him. So now we kind of have to hold it. We do it, like, literally like a half a second too soon. We missed the dart on the Bridget. Like, to be honest with you, what a fucked up situation we found ourselves in. Like, absolutely just, like, one of those situations where you hold your hands up and you go, like, what was I supposed to do about that one, brother? You know, I've got fucking Bridget and Reinhardt after me. One of them's nano boosted, you know, like a nanoed Myrine. Like, what more can I do? You know, amazingly, like, they're actually not making any progress in capturing the plane. So that's incredible. Here's Tracer. We tried. We missed. You know, such is life. Aim better. Oh, he's fucking dead. Wait, is Bastion he? I remember a bunch of people calling Bastion she, but I don't remember if they were doing that just to be kind of contrarian. I don't know. I don't know that Bastion cares, to be honest with you, now that I think about it. I think if you asked Bastion what he identifies as, he might answer bird. You know? That feels like the answer Bastion might come up with. Oh, that's the worst. Oh. You know, well, you know, I just want to look at what Ana's face was with the eyes while she throws the grenade on the back of Moira's skull, to be honest with you. You know, like, very relatable situation. That boy, you know, oh god, he's so low. Oh god, I'm gonna throw the grenade at him. I gotta reload. Oh, and then just like, even though it's clearly going like nowhere even approaching her body, like it's just gonna collide anyway. Yeah, you know, that's how it feels, to be honest. And then when you review the tape, you're like, oh, that was actually like another Moira above Moira as far as the particle effect was concerned, but you know, life's hard sometimes when you're playing Overwatch, and then we're in the black hole. What are you gonna do about that? So, we'll go back a little bit, you know, positioning-wise. You know, what else are you gonna be doing right now, to be honest? You know, sometimes you go back and you consult the tape and you look for the answer. I'm not moving your games, bro. I agree, daddy. I'm farming them? What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm not moving your games, bro. I'm farming them. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what daddy means. I was gonna say something, but Daddy really distracted me. Whatever. Couldn't have been that important, I suppose. Anyway, so we've exited the Ana section now. We've entered the very brief Zenyatta section. We are gonna be Zenyatta for like a minute, approximately. Reinhardt is doing his best to die right now, and he has done so. But he at least killed the other Reinhardt first. We put the orb on him, so good job us. Reaper's above us. I was looking at the silhouette through the scenery, so, you know, we wouldn't have known that. We might have heard him, like, clopping around up there, but, you know, we didn't know. I was cheating, because I have amazing special eyes right now. Tracer behind us is very spooky. I would not have recommended changing to Zenyatta versus a team that's got Tracer Reaper on it. Actually, was that person yeah, that person was Tracer. I wouldn't recommend changing to Zen versus Tracer and Reaper, because, boy, is that like a spooky situation to find yourself in. So, like, you know, you get Lucio basically as the alternative right now, right? Or I guess Mercy. You know, I actually don't even know that I want to be up there, because like the best place to be is Zenyatta, and like most supports, you know, is up here. Great, awesome high ground, you know, very safe generally. But when you're playing against Tracer and Reaper, is it even really a good idea to be up here anymore, really? Like, you're gonna have to watch both sides like a fucking hawk, you know, and jump down like the second something bad starts happening. So it's like, is being up there even really that beneficial when you're playing against Zen, or against Tracer and Reaper? Like, you'd have to watch both sides of the catwalk so closely. Yeah, you would have to keep track of both of them so closely to stay safe up there. Because, like, if one of them sneaks up on you while you're up there, you're fucking dead, brother. You're fucking dead. Alright, so we slapped this key now, you know. We were a little slow to slap it, but I mean, hey. You know. We're doing our best. We're trying to build up this last little bit of ult charge as quickly as we can. And that's a very sad situation to be in, when you're like, come on, just give me this 1% ult charge, please! And then you lose your Mecha's Diva before you can generate that last 1% of ult charge, you know. Wow, great job, Reaper. Geometry was a little bit off. Right idea, just, you know, geometry's a little bit off, unfortunately. Alright, Tracer's very low. Our Tracer's very low. Please heal Tracer. Throw Orb. Okay, hold on. How long has our Orb been off cooldown? You know, this would have been good to have been keeping track of sooner, so I didn't have to go back 20 fucking seconds! But such is life, you know, I'm not one for paying attention, to be honest with you. Tracer's low, should have healed Tracer right there. So right now, right now, it's healing orb time. It's healing orb time, brother. It's been healing orb time, brother. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's been healing orb time. Because, like, we're so low, like, just for me, just for daddy at this point. Like, things were kind of spooky at that time, but, like, this map is actually super convenient because there's a lot of symmetrical geometry to try and use. Anytime you're in a spooky situation, you just aim, like, here, you know, and it's gonna bounce back over here. You're probably gonna get, like, 3 bounces across the point. And much of the geometry is the same. No matter which corner you're in, you can always throw it into, like, the crook, like, right adjacent to one of the corners, and it'll bounce off to something on the sides. You don't want to throw it, like, literally in the corner, because then the physics engine is going to do, like, have a fit. But Volskaya is a pretty easy map to get it to bounce, like, multiple times across the point, but oh boy, did we need to, like, heal. So this is going to be a react faster kind of advice, but anytime you play in Moira and there's a Rhine on the enemy team, just, like, be hovering over that shift key. You know, just, you know, yeah, shut up, idiot. Yeah, I agree, Rexy. Just, like, be hovering, you know, be thinking maybe, you know, that Ryan's gonna be doing some earth-shattering. I listen to the audio cue, you know. Conveniently, humans do react to auditory stimulus faster than visual stimulus. So it's very convenient that Reinhardt starts yelling as soon as you push the button. And, you know, I'm basically just always hovering over the shift key when there's a Reinhardt on the other team. But that is, like, react better kind of advice. But if we do dodge the Earth Shatter with Fade right there, maybe we can keep them alive through that and at least stall the point out for a little bit longer, you know, get some more time off of them. But it wasn't exactly a good position. And at the end of the day, if your team gets Earth Shattered, if you're not playing Reinhardt, you can only be held accountable to a certain extent, right? Like, it's Reinhardt's job to block it. It's not your fault, like, it's not your fault that you can't cover for Reinhardt, right? But, like, you know, anytime you're playing against a Ryan as Moira, just be, like, a little spooked, a little ready to push that shift key. So we ended up in a kind of awkward position right there, so we kind of have to, like, fade across to get it back. This would have been a fair enough time to use a healing orb, mostly just because at this point I'm starting to think we're getting a little low on resource. You know, come on. Get back to it. I should have sped up time, I know. Because, like, basically, whenever I'm, like, half gauge, I'm like, alright, now is the time I should start trying to recuperate my resource, right? Like, right around this area. And, like, you basically got 2 things you do with your orb, right? You got 2 things. You want to chuck it at the enemy team as much as you can to help generate ult charge, because Moira conveniently gets to damage people and heal at the same time. So she gets to generate mad ult charge. Like, she just zooms that coalescence into play. And you only get to charge it super fast if you're using your damage orb very frequently. But, like, that's so you, like, when you haven't got your ult charged up, you throw your damage orb at them a lot to generate ult charge. And then you have your left click to heal people if they need it, right? And then when you start getting, like, low on resource, you can use your orb to cover for you while you recuperate your resource. Because right now, some people on our team still need healing, but we're, like, half-ish gauge, which is when I start being concerned, and, like, I want to recover some of this gauge. Because if we break out into a full-on fight, half of your gauge is not enough for the whole fight, right? You want to be, like, 75% for the whole fight. So, like, as soon as it's, like, half gauge, I'm just gonna chuck a healing orb in this situation, right? Just chuck a little healing orb, like, right here. Just, like, right against this wall. It's gonna bounce across, like, 2 or 3 times, you know? And then, while the orb is bouncing, I'm gonna be sipping this fool. This fool over here that's, like, doing this bad thing right now, but that he's not gonna get punished for. I can just be sipping him. And that's great. Or I can be sipping this guy that I didn't even know was here. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking buffoon. Look at this dumb idiot. We could be sipping the fuck out of this guy right now. So that's the healing orb gets to cover you while you recuperate your resource. Because as long as you're in a convenient-ish location to bounce it across your team, like, you can be doing that. It's gonna take care. Like, the healing orb puts out a lot of healing. Right now is not a good time to throw the damage orb, because now we are super low on resource. Now we got no resource coming into this fight, right? Like, we're completely empty. We got, at the start of the fight, we gotta start trying to recuperate. Geometry. The geometry on that one wasn't gonna work out super well. We'll go back. We'll go back. Geometry's important, you know? To be fair, like, we're having a little bit of a stressful situation. But like that last damage orb, I would have thrown a healing orb and been trying to sip instead. So we chucked it, you know. To be fair, these doorways also kind of suck because it like nicks the door frame the wrong way, it like bounces off, God only knows where. Whatever, you know, like life is hard. Should have been healing right there. We did have resource. We could have been trying to heal that Reaper, but oh, this is not a good place to be fading into. Yeah. Like, that fight, pretty much already done, right? Like, I'll kinda hover nearby in that kind of situation, like, do what I can, but, like, you definitely don't want to be fading forward in that situation, because the fight is basically done. We've pretty much lost that fight. So just save the fade, because you're gonna want to be leaving that situation near future. We could have, like, hovered back and, like, generated a bit more ult charge off of the fight, like, damage and healing, but, like, you gotta be ready to get to be wanna be ready to skedaddle at the first sign of trouble, basically. So we have Coalescence built up right now, which is great. Fantastic. I would have liked if we faded first, because we were purple right at the start of that, so I would have liked if we threw the orb. That's good. That's the important thing. You do want to throw your orb before you use Coalescence, because Coalescence 7 seconds, orb cooldown 10 seconds. You're basically ready to throw the orb at the end of the Coalescence, you know? So that's good, that's good. But I would have liked to fade before we did that, so we get the purple off of us before we start using Coalescence. Because, counterintuitively, Moira is most vulnerable while she's using Coalescence. So I really don't want to be purple while I'm using Coalescence. So we won't fade away from this. You know, we gotta try in that situation, but, you know, there are situations where you can heal your team through Graviton as Moira, but that was not going to be one of them. They were in a prime position to just, like, walk in and start dumping damage all on our team. And it didn't feel very good for the people in the black hole, I'd wager, but they shouldn't have been in a fucking black hole, should they? You know, that's their own fault, the dumb idiots. So things could be going better. No, just chuck the damage orb in. There's nothing going on right now. We gotta build our ult up again. We should just be chucking that damage. We're typing right now. We're saying something to these boys. I understand. I just chucked the damage orb in there. Like, the orb's been on cooldown this whole time. We could be building ult charge. Like, there's no fight gonna start. Like, now it's gonna start. If a fight doesn't look like it's gonna start, you can just, in the next couple of seconds, just chuck that damage orb in there. You don't want the cooldown sat there doing nothing for an extended period of time when you could be generating ult charge. Once you have your ult built up, it's a different story, because then you don't need to worry about throwing it out there regularly. Now, I've got my ult built up, I don't need to throw the damage orb at them regularly to build up ult charge anymore. I can save it for more specific instances, which are basically, I think I'm gonna kill this fool. I think I'm gonna kill this dumb idiot. Or, I think my dumb idiots are gonna die, and I need to save these dumb idiots, in which case I use the healing orb instead, you know? These are the two situations. So once you have your ult built up, you can save it for these more specific things. But when things are just neutral, nothing's going on, chuck that damage orb at them, unless you need to regenerate some of your resource, in which case you use the healing orb to cover you. You know? And if you throw we threw the healing orb right there, healing orb is usually good enough to deal with the situation by itself, unless there's a lot of damage coming out, right? If there's a lot of damage coming out, you'll need to spray them as well, but generally the orb is good enough. So if you've thrown the healing orb out there, try and sip. Even if the team is like a little bit hurt, like it's a little sketchy, the orb puts out a fucking lot of healing actually. So you can probably at least get a little bit of sipping in there. So Graviton has happened, there's only one boy in it. So it was not particularly exciting for us, even though we were using Coalescence. We did see somebody low over there, so we threw the damage orb after them. Don't worry about that guy, he's in too deep. We can't deal with him, so, you know, whatever. We probably weren't that scared for him, to be honest. We probably just want to actually come over and start touching the point, to be honest. Fuck that Reaper. So we captured the point, fantastic. We got there in the end, that's the important thing. I can hear Tracer. It's us that has Tracer? Yes, they don't have Tracer. Okay, alright. I just heard Tracer's bullets, and I was concerned, but nothing to be concerned about. So, chuck the damage orb at them. Oh no, it did bounce around the corner. Okay, alright, you know, it got in there. And then, you know, the physics engine. It's at the whims of the physics engine at that point. So, yeah, chuck it in there. Spray. We didn't need to hold it for that long. The regen would have been good enough to deal with that situation. Could have saved a little bit of resource. Don't do it yet. They've got the sound barrier on them right now, right? This fairly minor point, to be honest with you, because they're in a bad spot. Like, you know, these dumb idiots are gonna die. You know, they've just been grabbed, and now they're getting shattered. But if they got sound barrier on them, unless they're really hurt under the sound barrier, just wait a little bit. You know, save some of that resource. Oh, that's definitely not the time to throw the damage orb. It doesn't save them. Like, I'll be totally honest with you, the damage orb, it doesn't matter. We didn't save them if we threw the healing orb, but that is not the time to throw the damage orb. That is the time to throw the healing orb. It would have gotten us, like, even though it's not going to save them, to be honest with you, they're going to die just as quickly regardless. We would have gotten moral charge out of throwing the healing orb into our full team as they're getting fucked up like that. But they 100% died, regardless of what we did right there. Us throwing the healing orb does not save them in that situation. They were fucking on their backs with Nano Blade cutting into them. They fucking dead, brother. So Zen was in a bit of a spooky spot, but hey, Genji was not good enough to kill him through us healing him. Reaper really bailed on that one fast, didn't he? Like, Reaper got on that Reinhardt and then went, you know what, brother, I don't want to deal with this anymore. And yet now, here comes their Reinhardt, playing Reinhardt. You know, this is not just a textbook Reinhardt play right there. Yeah, he's gonna fucking die, as things should be. And we do start healing him a little bit early, but he was about to start getting shot at by a Reaper, so I do understand. And now we use Coalescence. We could have saved it, like, for a little bit, because most of their team was dead at that point, so we could have saved Coalescence, because it would be better to have it, like, right now, you know? And that wouldn't have made much difference with that Reaper situation in all likelihood, but it would be a lot better to have Coalescence now. We used it basically to try and keep the pressure up. Oh god, we start coming back again. Yeah, I don't like that. I would have rather, like, so we start fading and then we come back up there. I'm just gonna fucking fade around this corner, dude. Because, like, we fade around this corner in here, pick up this large health kit, and then at that point we can assess the situation further to decide if we really want to come out there and continue taking part in that fight. Because we can either go back out back through the back door and then go wrap around out through the front door again, or just go out the door right next to us and continue taking part in the fight if it looks tenable in any way. I don't want to fade back onto the point because, oh god, do I not want to die? You know, I want to either get out when we've lost the fight or just die faster. And we didn't really commit to either aspect of that. So anyway, I was making the point about Coalescence. Yeah, we used it basically to keep pressure on while we were winning the fight, but like we had won the fight at that point, so I'd rather save it for the subsequent fight, because we've got to capture the whole point still from there. I'd rather save it for the subsequent fight that is going to happen, because they will get back out there in time to contest the point again, so I'd rather save it for that. Again, with the benefit of our future technology, we get to look back on the timeline and go, oh no, they ate shit regardless. Like, they died anyway because Reaper span on them and Coalescence does not out-heal Death Blossom. But, you know, it had a better chance of working out. So, we didn't necessarily need to throw the healing orb right there, but it is a minor enough point that I won't complain about it either. Even though I did bring it up, I will not complain about it further. Oh god, I hope we capture this before it rolls over. We should have just... we should have just thrown the healing orb and used Coalescence immediately, to be honest with you. Oh, god damn it, we're not gonna get the time extension. By like half a second. Oh, god damn it. Ugh. Terrible news. Terrible news. So this is where it suddenly does matter that we didn't dodge that Earth Shatter back on the defense round, because we literally needed to stall that point for 6 more seconds, and we would get a time extension and get our turn to attack. So suddenly us not dodging that Earth Shatter mattered a lot more. Because even though we almost certainly still lost that team fight where they got Earth Shattered, it is very feasible we stalled it for 6 more seconds if we dodged the Earth Shatter. So, suddenly that does matter, because now we are extensionless. So we have no chance of winning, we can only draw. Again, have better reactions is not good advice, it's not something not exactly actionable advice, right? But that is suddenly the avenue where we could have maybe changed the outcome of this game, and we're fucking, dead as shit right now. We're fucking done. Winston's doing a bad. That's all Winston right there. We shouldn't expose ourselves that much to try and save Winston, because he was pretty fucked. And then we try to save Bastion, by that point, it's already fucked. We exposed ourselves a lot to try and heal the Winston right there, which we shouldn't have done. There's too many people right there, and Winston fucked up, right? It's Winston fucked up. Don't kill yourself trying to save somebody else that fucked up. You are more important than that guy, because you are the healer. If you die, your team is fucked, right? They've got no sustain anymore. They just losing your healer early on in the fight is like a death sentence. I'll be honest with you again. We lost that regardless, right? But you carry the theory with you into the next game, and hopefully that is less fucked. Don't expose yourself to danger to try and save somebody else that fucked up. They fucked up. It's not your job as the support to bail them out if they fuck up really badly, right? You do what you can, but you don't expose yourself to danger, right? The most I'm going to do for that Winston is I'm going to throw a healing orb after him, and then after that I'm going to go, you're on your own, you either get out or you don't, because I'm not walking up to the choke point without a shield in front of me to try and heal you. If Ryan's there, great, but Ryan's on the other side of the truck. I'm not doing it. It's all Winston right there. He shouldn't have been fucking out doing dumb shit if he didn't want to die. That's my stance on the matter. Hold on, let me check the email really quickly, because I don't remember if there was a question in this one. Don't think there was, but I want to check just because I forgot a question that was in an email 2 weeks ago, and it still keeps me awake at night, to be honest with you. No, there was no question in the email. So, overarching thing, just efficiency stuff with Moira, to be honest with you, which is usually the case, resource efficiency, orb efficiency, which is, to be honest with you, those are literally the only skill testing aspects of Moira, is how well you can manage your resource. As soon as you get resource management down on Moira, you've 80% mastered the hero, to be honest with you. Everything else after that point, so fucking easy, dude. Moira's, resource management and cooldown management are the only skill testing aspects, and, the cooldown management is, exactly what I told you about the orbs, and then that's it, The rest is, Fade is pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? So, once you get that done, you're pretty much done, to be honest with you. To be honest, also still, way better than I'd expect the average Silver Moira player to be, because usually, the resource management wasn't fantastic, but, most Moira players I've seen, their resource management with this kind of SR is fucking atrocious, where they'll just, stood there, nothing's even happening, like, everybody's full health, and they're just still just, like, stood behind the team, just, like, spraying into them constantly when Ryan took, like, 50 damage, right? Like, that's the kind of shit I see, and we didn't do that. So that's great. That's already better than the average Silver Moira player, as far as I'm concerned. But you know what? You know what I was really stoked about? We did sip the enemy team. You know, we did sip them, because that's the other thing that, like, really low. It's very interesting where the conception is that low SR Moiras spend their entire time playing like they're a DPS instead of being a healer. I see the exact inverse problem 100% of the time. I'm prepared to say 100% of the time I watch a low SR Moira. They're not doing too much DPS. They don't do enough DPS. They spend their whole time spraying and no time sipping, ever. Because they've had Reddit fucking bash it into their skull that you're a healer, don't do damage, no damage, Moira. Stop doing damage, Moira. And so Moira players are fucking petrified to actually sip people. So, all of the low SR Moiras I see, it's not that they're doing too much damage, it's that they do no damage. So I was pretty stoked that we sipped the enemy team occasionally. You know, to be honest with you, way better than my usual expectation for a Moira in, like, Silver to be. So, you know, fantastic, awesome. Way already ahead of the curve, just gotta, gotta suffer through that whole being in low SR where my Winston does shit like that, you know. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord, ask questions more directly, and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. Our stars should be on Twitch, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m. EST till 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and I hope you found the video helpful.